Yes, sir. Back in the building. Back in the building. Lindy Endzone in the house. Oh, it's been a minute, man. It has been a minute since I've been on here. I know. Um, long story short, the wife had company over. She was away for, she was away for about a week and a half. Her family dropped her off. They had to, they had to stay at the pad here, and it you know, they took my channel space, so had to wait a couple of days, but we're back in here. We're back in here. I've kind of been lacking on my Mavs content lately. So we NBA free agency has already begun, and then we're going to keep in check on every move that's being made so far, but we're going to obviously primarily prioritize what's going on with the Dallas Mavericks. As I think around draft time, we've already not picked up Josh Richardson's option of $11 million. He went to the Boston Celtics, and in return, we received some depth at the center position in Moses Brown, who is a nice and up-and-coming developmental talent type of player, coming in at 7'2", another big guy to put down there in the paint, give some help to Kristaps Porzingis and, the likes of the rest of the center depth. Good move there. I guess Josh Richardson, well, I can't say he overstayed his welcome because he was only in Dallas for a year, but it just didn't work. It didn't work in that sense. I was in a call-in recently earlier today on my way home from work, and I just explained the fact that the Mavs were kind of enamored with the that sort of defensive presence that Josh Richardson brings to the table, and he just wasn't consistent enough. He wasn't that guy for Dallas, and I wish him nothing but the best. He was a good person, but he just wasn't that kind of fit. He wasn't that kind of fit. But let's shout out to a couple in the building. BPS obviously in here. What's up? What up? What up? He says Lonzo went to Chicago. Kyle Lowry is in talks going to the Miami Heat, and so Kyle Lowry is he's in negotiations right now with the sign and trade with the Miami Heat from the Toronto Raptors, and then that leads me to the question: if he's going to the Heat, I wonder what Miami's going to do with Goran Dragic. Fingers crossed. Now, I know the Mavs just signed, and I'll get into that in a second here. The Mavericks signed Tim Hardaway Jr. to a 4-year, $74 million extension. It originally said $72 million, but it is 74. I'm assuming that there's like some kind of bonus in there or whatever, because the original number was 72. That comes out to about 18 million a year, which THJ was just on the roster for about $19-20 million. So I can't really complain, especially that we got 4 years out of him. I'm happy Tim Hardaway Jr. is still here. Don't get me wrong. I'm definitely happy he's still here. I'm also happy that Boban is also still here. Big Bo. He agreed to sign another deal to stay with Dallas. I love it for Luka. Them two are like best friends. It's hilarious. So Boban's staying. Tim Hardaway Jr. just signed a 4-year extension. So, like I said, I'm happy he's still here. The only cause for pause I really have with Hardaway Jr., and I said this in the video that I dropped about it, being that it was a consideration at the time that we may re-sign him. I was under the premise of, well, if that's going to be the decision, number one, how long is the contract going to be, and number two, you're signing him based on, like, I'm guessing some sort of promise that he's going to improve his game a little bit. He needs to get a little better at creating his own shot. His defense isn't necessarily there. And in critical moments, he goes very cold when we've needed him the most. He wasn't consistent in that playoff run, and he has these bipolar spurts throughout the regular season. So being that he's going to be here for an additional 4 years, I hope he cleans that up a little bit. So I mean, those were the only few reservations I had in terms of Tim Hardaway Jr. But all in all, I am happy he's here. He loves Luka. They have a good chemistry together. And that's part of the business that's very difficult, throughout professional sports, is when you get guys that develop a good chemistry among teammates. In the grand scheme of things of the competition of business, that aspect is very tough, to let go. But sometimes you have to pay. Sometimes you have to pay to keep those kinds of situations, and I think this was one of those with Timmy and Luka, because Luka seems to like Hardaway Jr. I mean, the feelings mutual between the feelings mutual between the two of them. You can see it on the court, and the way that Timmy over the last couple of seasons has had such high praise for Luka Doncic and what he means to the Dallas Mavericks. And so yeah, I'm glad Timmy's still here. I'm definitely glad Timmy's still here. AK in the house, the Eagles Uncensored podcast making a visit, showing his presence. What's going on, AK? Was just in your call in earlier. The service isn't very good down here. We'll just say that it cuts out a little too much. BPSA and TJ McConnell stays with the Indiana Pacers. I kind of seen that one coming. Rick Carlisle just got over there. He's gonna want to keep some assets at least to see what he's working with, since the Pacers got a new head coach. That one I'm not really shocked about. He also says, I think Kawhi is either going to Dallas or the Miami Heat. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's another thing I was talking about. And as much as I would love Kawhi Leonard, the problem here is that Dallas has already put on the table negotiations about Luka Doncic getting his max extension worth just over $200 million, 5 years, $202 million. How that's going to be fit in the cap if Kawhi, he declined his option, and he comes over here and he signs a deal with Dallas. How are you going to fit arguably, two max contracts under your books when you're already dealing with, trying to re-sign Luka for one, and then you have Kristaps Porzingis still here. I think that's one of the only ways that Kawhi would come to Dallas, is if KP is traded. I don't know how you can keep three big time contracts like that on your books. Let's see here. BPS saying Duncan Robinson is staying with the Miami Heat. We are going to go to Twitter here. And see any other updates. So speaking of moves by the Pacers, their forward Torrey Craig has also so free agent Torrey Craig has agreed to a 2-year, $10 million deal with the Indiana Pacers. Duncan Robinson agreed to a 5-year, $90 million deal to stay with the Miami Heat. I don't know. It's continuing to look a little more positive here. I would love if the Mavs brought in Goran Dragic. I would love it. I would absolutely love it. Either him or DeMar DeRozan, I would be complete. I would be pretty damn happy if those were if those were the two moves. Either of those two moves, I would be very happy if Dallas were to be able to achieve that. Cowboy X Factor in the house. It's a that's a name I haven't seen in a while. How are you, man? He says, "Hi there, Lindy. I don't mind the Mavs bringing back THJ and Boban, but that can't be the only moves." Exactly, it can't be. No, um, after everything that Dallas has done so far with catering to Luka Doncic, that's only the beginning. If you like, you gotta realize what you have in him, and with Dallas, this should be. Excuse me. There it is. Excuse me. Sorry about that. But with Dallas, this has to be a very similar effect to like the Giannis Antetokounmpo effect. Like for Milwaukee, he is their guy. And it's got to be the same thing for Dallas. Like, you got to build around Luka the same way that Milwaukee has with Giannis. This has to be the same exact thing. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be those big time players. It's got to be guys that just fit around what your star player does best. And what Luka does best is a little bit of everything. That's the best part about him. He does a little bit of everything very well. But the biggest thing for me that we need to do, the biggest thing that I think we need to do for Luka is just to allow him to take a break. His usage rate is so high to begin with, and we're in a position right now where we're trying to diminish that a little bit. All right, we want to, and I think that's the spot in Luka's game that hasn't necessarily been tapped into yet. And I think if that happens, he's going to hit the next level. One thing Luka does not do enough of, and it's not to say that he's not good at it, but one thing that Luka doesn't do enough of is play off the ball. And I think if you tap into that area of his game, that's when he's going to take that next step, and you're going to see him in MVP conversation for years upon years to come. And we've seen this, time and time. There's cases where Luka will play off the ball and, he'll work to the low post, or he'll back somebody down like mouse in the house scenario, or he'll just come maybe off a screen at times, or he'll sit in a sweet spot in it, like a catch and shoot a three type of opportunity. He's done it before, but not to a level of what we would want him to be doing that. So, that's why I am all in favor of bringing in either a Goran Dragic or a DeMar DeRozan, because either one of those two are going to accelerate the process, and not having to rely on Luka constantly, just to keep the momentum of the offense flowing. That's the biggest thing to me, is just giving Luka a break. We can't have it where he's playing 40 plus minutes in the playoffs, and the second unit comes in and they can't either maintain a lead or cut into a deficit quick enough, and the minutes trickle down, and you get into crunch time, throats get tight, stuff like that. And in those cases, there's times where the Mavericks just didn't have enough talent to be able to either win the game or force overtime or complete the upset. Let's see here. Eagle Slayer saying Luka got that cheddar. Yeah, he's going to be. He's going to be. The offer. I think the offer has to be submitted by midnight or something. But right now, Luka's focusing on the Olympics and trying to win a gold for Slovenia, which I don't blame him whatsoever. I don't blame him for that being his ultimate goal right now. It's actually admirable for him to be in that kind of situation. you're putting all that focus in the country that you were born into, born and raised into, and uh, to be able to do something of this magnitude for the country that you represent, it has to be worth more than the dollar to him. So, that's it's very admirable, and that's another that's another thing that that I love about Luka is just his his determination to keep fighting, for what he wants, and that's why he's such a that's why he's such a great leader for the Mavericks. I just hope that we do him right by getting the players that he needs around him, and so far so good, I guess. There's still other moves that we need to make right now. What up, Jordy? So Jordy, being a Boston Celtics fan, I'm going to need your opinion on the acquisition of Josh Richardson. You'll have to let me know about that. Yeah, Cowboys, X Factor, you already know, man. You already know. Good deal. BPS says CP3 is back with Phoenix on a 4-year deal worth $120 million. That's crazy. So $30 million a year for CP3. Now that has him on the books with Phoenix until his last year, where he's about 40 years old. That's crazy. Dude's still gonna get like 30 mil a year, pushing 40 years old. That's nuts. That is nuts. Oh, yeah. That does not look good for Sixers fans. That does not look good for Sixers fans. So let's see. Free agent Doug McDermott has agreed to a 3-year, $42 million deal with the San Antonio Spurs. Looks like the Spurs are now, looks like the Spurs are now making moves to I guess, like they're approaching the inevitable of a DeMar DeRozan departure. Looks like they're doing their work right now. See what else is going on here. I seen another signing. Kyle Lowry. Yeah. He's pretty excited to go to Miami. That's a nice combination right there. You got to admit. That's a pretty nice combination for the Miami Heat. So they just gave Jimmy Butler, that amount of money, and then Kyle Lowry goes there. That's a pretty nice setup. Now I don't know. Like I said, I would like to know. I would like to know if Goran Dragic was part of that. I would like to know if he was part of that sign and trade. Let's see. Breaking news says Goran Dragic's first choice would be rerouted to the Dallas Mavericks, and that's according to Sportsnet. Is that so? Now, where is that? I don't see that. Kyle Lowry goes to the Heat after 9 seasons with the Toronto Raptors. I'm not seeing anything about Goran Dragic right now from Sportsnet. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Why was that tweeted? Don't play with my heart. Don't do it. Don't play with my heart right now. I would love Goran on Dallas. Please, don't play with me. Don't play with me. I would love this for Dallas. And Luka would absolutely love this. Let's see. Chris Paul agrees to a 4-year, up to $120 million deal to remain with the Phoenix Suns. Chris Paul has granted a interview to Yahoo Sports. Quote, I knew Phoenix was where I wanted to be. So good for him. Good for him. I like that. I like that. I like that CP3 is staying loyal to Phoenix after after having an NBA Finals run. Obviously he feels that that's probably his best chance to try and go for a title again is to run it back with them. They're already battle tested now. A lot of those young players on that Suns roster, and especially like DeAndre Ayton and Devin Booker, those guys are now battle tested. They've been to the finals now. That's a good thing. So, they have that playoff experience. So it's all around good for CP3. I like it. I like it. Good for him. Jordy says, I'm not happy to have him if he ends up starting. He isn't going to fill the hole left from Hayward's departure. We need someone who can be a short-term starter. I'd like if he was a depth guy. It could work. Yeah. So, I mean, Boston is going to have to go into that situation with Josh Richardson and figuring out what he is. There was experimentation, on Dallas's end with Josh at times starting him in the backcourt with Luka. There was times where he came off the bench, and there was times where he started with Luka. So, I think that's probably what it's going to come down to is just, Boston's just going to have to figure out where Josh fits in that roster. I don't know. I mean, are they gonna? That's weird. That's a weird one. Like, it's already rumored about. You guys might lose Marcus Smart. You already have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Do you add Josh into the mix and start him in the backcourt? Stuff like that to add a little bit of defense. I don't know. Sometimes Josh's defense was glorified. There was cases where it only really seemed like he just gave us clutch free throws, and that was about it. That's one thing I remember from Josh Richardson. He was a very good free throw shooter, over 90%, I think. He was a pretty good free throw shooter, but outside of that, cases of there's cases of intense defense that he gave. He had some nice steals here and there, but it just, I don't know. He just wasn't that guy. Anything else here? Not seeing nothing else on Twitter right now. Come on. Anything else to break for the Mavs? Anything else to break for the Mavs? They got to do now. Again, it's the first day of free agency. I mean, we can't expect Dallas to get everything done in one day. But it would be nice to see something else happen. We can recap so far. The Mavs did hang on to Tim Hardaway Jr. They gave him a 4-year, $74 million deal. So that will guarantee him, without him requesting a trade, he will be a Dallas Maverick up until he's about 33. So we still have a prime Tim Hardaway Jr. for what it's worth. And he performed pretty well. Like I said, I mean, the only reservation I have with Timmy is that he just needs to be, he needs to be a better shot creator. That's all I'm asking out of Timmy. His three pointers there. I have no, he already has a 3-point shot. I got no problem with that. He shot 39% from three last year, which is much needed. I think that's one thing that, thing that went underrated, for the people that weren't too excited about Timmy, Tim Hardaway Jr. staying. He's a very good 3-point shooter. Does he have his nights where he's ice cold? Absolutely, he does. Um, but for a team that is, an average 3-point shooting team, we don't want to get any worse. So yeah, it was a good idea to retain Timmy. I didn't think it was going to be a 4-year extension by any means. Maybe 2 at the most, I would have thought. But for it being 4 years, I don't got a problem with it. I just need Hardaway Jr. to take those next steps into being a better ball player. If we're like, this is my thing. If we're not going to go after a DeMar DeRozan, as far as DeMar being one of the, at his position being one of the best shot creators, deadly from mid range. Kawhi Leonard's known for being a deadly mid range shooter. DeMar DeRozan's pretty damn good in that too. So I mean, that's my worry here. If we're not going to go after DeMar DeRozan after we just signed Tim Hardaway Jr., that kind of responsibility is going to be put on THJ. Outside of 3-pointers, we're going to need to see him, put that mid-range game in, and that doesn't exclude, like Kristaps Porzingis. He can shoot pretty well for a 7-footer at 7'3". He's got a pretty nice jump shot, so. Let's see. Cap space dried up quickly today, according to Keith Smith. But the Knicks and Spurs can both still go big money for Evan Fournier. Pelicans could possibly do it too. Wow, it's Miami Heat. That's crazy. So the Miami Heat are giving Jimmy Butler about $195 million. They just paid Duncan Robinson $90 million, and Goran Dragic, his option was picked up, and let me see. Heat news. How much was Goran Dragic's? So did Goran go to I'm not seeing where the Heat are likely going to deal Goran and Precious in order to get Lowry. Dang. Okay. Well, I guess that's the only way we'd probably be able to poach Goran Dragic is from the Raptors. If Goran was a part of that sign and trade negotiation with Kyle Lowry going to Miami, that's a pretty big trio right there for the Heat. Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and now Kyle Lowry. Yeah, that's a nice three-piece for the Heat. Yeah, so it looks like Goran Dragic is. It looks like he's possibly in that exchange of the sign and trade. Okay. What was his option though? That's what I want to know. Okay, $19 million. $19 million. That's a lot of money. John Hollinger. Oh, okay. So Kyle Lowry has agreed to a 3-year deal for approximately $90 million with the Miami Heat. That is unbelievable. So you're looking at almost $400 million on the Heat between 3 players. Pretty sure if I did the math right there. Jimmy Butler got about 195. You're getting 90 for Duncan Robinson and about 90 for Kyle Lowry. So 195, and 180. That puts you at about $380 million. Wow. Wow. Miami wants to run it back. They're pushing to run it back. That's crazy. Oh, stop toying with me right now. Stop toying with me. There's more rumors out there about Goran. Come on, man. Oh, John Hollinger? What is he saying? I'm not seeing anything. um, Kyle Lowry's deal can reach $87 million over 3 years if the rumored combo of Goran Dragic and Precious are the only players in the sign and trade. A high dollar amount would require other players. Okay. Oh, yeah. It was tweeted 14 minutes ago by John Hollinger in a reply to Blake Murphy. Blake Murphy says there is no reason to buy Dragic out. I don't know where people are getting that. No cap relief, no asset back. Raptors will either find him a third team for trade or keep Dragic and shop him at the deadline. Okay, now with that said, are the Mavericks desperate enough right now to go after Goran Dragic? That it, based on these tweets of what I'm reading, that's the thing here. Dallas can either go grab Goran right now, or they can wait at the deadline and see if his price drops. I don't know. What do y'all guys think? What do y'all Mavs think here? MFFLs, what are we thinking? John Hollinger replies to that tweet saying this is correct. Buying Dragic out would not appear to make any sense for either team or player given the number he's making. Trading him for Dwight Powell, on the other hand, okay. Oh boy. Now that's the thing. What is Dwight Powell making? I think it's about that much. Yeah. Okay. So, yep. Yeah. He signed a 3-year, $33 million deal with Dallas. Back in 2020. So he is on the books for the next 2 seasons at 11 million apiece. So the Raptors would be taking on 22 million as opposed to a $19 million option, and then having to give Goran a new contract. It wouldn't make sense to buy him out right now. It would not. It would not make sense for the Raptors to buy him out right now, unless they find a third suitor. And I like Dwight Powell too. That's the thing. Like these are all good people. These are all good people. Let's see. Free agent Sterling Brown has agreed to a deal with the Dallas Mavericks. Okay. Seems people yeah. Seems people like the move. Let's see. Sterling Brown, okay. Okay. He seems to be another shooter. So let's see. Let's look it up. What do we got here? So Sterling Brown was a former Milwaukee Buck and Houston Rocket, um, a 6'5" shooting guard slash small forward, so a similar build to Tim Hardaway Jr. And he's only 26 years old. Okay, okay. Let's see. He has played about okay, so 215 games in his career. He's all right. So he's 4 seasons in. Okay. So yeah. All right. All right. He last played for the Houston Rockets after spending his first 3 years in Milwaukee. He is okay. So he's a decent free throw shooter, about 78% for his career. Um, I mean, he doesn't shoot much at the line. He doesn't get very many minutes. Uh, okay, so yeah, he's going to be a bench player. So yeah, that makes sense. I like it. And this is especially with the idea if Tim Hardaway Jr. starts. If you start THJ, it seems to me Sterling Brown can be a great substitution off the bench. You don't lose 3-point shooting. You don't necessarily lose free throw shooting. He puts up okay points. I don't know how many minutes Dallas is going to give him. Um, he's played the most for Houston in his career at about 24 minutes a game. In 51 of those games, he only started 14. Averaged about 7 shot attempts a game, 45% from the field. He shot about 2 of 4. Excuse me. He shot about 2 of 4 from 3 last year. So getting up 4 3-point shot attempts in about 24 minutes. I guess that's okay. Um, his his effective field goal percentage was the highest of his career so far, 58%. Um, about 49, 50% from 2, 42% from 3 last year. 8 points, 4 rebounds, assist and a half. Okay. I like it. I like it. Cool. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. We could use more shooters. We could use more shooters. I like it. I'm good. I'm good with that. That's a good signing. I like it. I like it. It's another shooter. Um, I mean, this replaces a little bit in what we lost in Seth Curry. If you think of it that way, when we traded Seth Curry away for Josh Richardson, I think this cleans up that mess. I think this Sterling Brown signing cleans up that mess, and hopefully he provides us quality minutes off the bench. When we need to get back into the game with putting some threes up. I like it. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. BPS says Brown's a decent signing. Yes, it is. Absolutely. I guess we'll eventually find out the terms of how much Dallas is paying him, and yeah, we'll go from there. Let's see. We got more news here. Free agent forward/center Jeff Green has agreed to a 2-year deal with the Denver Nuggets. Okay, so the Brooklyn Nets lose Jeff Green. He goes to Denver. Yeah, I mean, it seems across. Yeah. So it seems across Twitter here in the Mavs scape, everybody's liking this signing with Sterling Brown. Brown shot 42% from 3 last season on 4 attempts. And yeah, he's only 26 years old. That's great. That's great. I'm good with that. I'm good with that signing. But I don't think we should be done. I don't think so. The signing, according to John Hollinger tweeting, He says the signing won't affect the remaining cap space if this is for room exception or for minimum. And the same thing goes for Boban, of course. By quick math, he says the Mavericks have about 15 million left. Who's next? Who's next? That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying right now. Who is next? Who is next? According to another report, Goran Dragic is primarily, if not only, interested in landing in Dallas to play alongside Luka Doncic. You love to see it. You love to see it. Make it happen, Dallas. Make it happen. Give me Goran. I would be perfectly fine with that. Give me Goran Dragic or DeMar DeRozan. Give me one of those two, please. Woj drops another one, says free agent Mo Harkless has agreed to a 2-year, $9 million deal with the Sacramento Kings. Okay. Well, it looks like Philly Foothills Kings got themselves another player. Somebody ought to let them know that the Kings signed Mo Harkless. It's a good one. That's a decent signing there. BPS is not happy with the Jeff Green signing by Denver. He wanted him to go to the Lakers. I mean, yeah, Jeff Green is such a journeyman veteran. He's always seemed to have bring quality minutes to whichever team he went to. That's so. BPS says, "My bad, Jordy didn't meet." Oh, you actually. Oh, dang! You actually deleted a comment. Oh, I guess I'll have to read it quick as soon as it's back up. To hear what Jordy has to say there. But yeah. Like I said, y'all. I hope the Mavs are not done here. I hope Dallas is not done. Wow. I should ask if Sixers fans are okay because nothing is going on right now in free agency. Wow. Oh! So the Mavericks are also nearing a deal with Knicks free agent Reggie Bullock. Okay. All right. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad. Reggie Bullock from the Knicks? Rookvire, yes, he goes, oh, yes, Goran to Dallas. That's amazing. He has amazing chemistry with Luka. Yeah, he definitely does. He definitely. I mean, this dates back to like what 2016, 2017. The two know each other so well, same country, same everything, man. I mean, I'm just glad that Dallas is not done right now. Dallas is not done right now. Reggie Bullock might be coming to Dallas. Reggie Bullock might be coming. So let's take a look here. Let's take a look at his stats now. Where is Reggie Bullock? And what position does he play? Okay, so he's a veteran. Another small forward, 6'7". All right. I think I know where Dallas is going here. He's another bench player. Yeah, he's going to be another bench player. But he's another shooter. Another shooter. Yes. Yes. Um, yeah, so he last played for the Knicks the last 2 seasons. Um, and he was relatively healthy for the Knicks. He averaged about 30 minutes. He averaged 30 minutes for the New York Knicks. Um, going was that 11, 4, and an assist and a half. I mean, okay, so those kinds of numbers in about 30 minutes of play, that's not great. It just depends on the role that Reggie Bullock had for the Knicks. But I mean, these are okay numbers. He didn't shoot very much. Averaged about 9 shot attempts a game, going 4 of 9. And he almost averaged about 3 of 6 from three. 41% 3-point shooter. Another small forward coming in at 6'7". Nice, savvy veteran. Um, doesn't shoot very many free throws. So he could be a 50, 40, 90 guy. It's another this might be another good sign here. I think this is another good sign for Dallas. Another small forward shooting guard that has a 3-pointer. This is another shooter to add to Dallas. That's I Mark Cuban's going out, and Mark's seen what Dallas did to the Clippers in a playoff series. At the historical paces that Dallas did from three in those games, hitting 18 threes and 20 threes and 16 threes at usually a 45 to 50% clip as a team. And that was the void of 3-point shooters for the most part. Yeah, you like Maxi Kleber, you like Maxi Kleber, you like Finney Smith, you like Hardaway Jr. Luka is going to get his no matter what. But, Kleber doesn't put enough, he doesn't put enough attempts up, for one. Two, he's limited in his role for that matter. I think Reggie Bullock has a little more to his game. Sterling Brown is about the same there. So, I mean, I love that the Mavericks have just added 2 more shooters. That's phenomenal. Especially retaining Tim Hardaway Jr. for 4 years, and then you add 2 more shooters to the mix who are of good stature, like 6'5" to 6'7". THJ is the same size. Like, Dallas is going big here. Dallas is going big, and I like it. How would that affect their pace offensively? I don't know. But with the amount of shooters that Dallas is bringing in right now, that gives Luka a lot more opportunity to play make. That's nice. That is nice. I like this direction so far. I like it, Dallas. Good job so far. Joey Shakes, what up, my man? How you doing? Yeah, yourself a killer stream earlier going over the Eagles training camp so far as they concluded their I think they're at day 4. So I think day 4 concluded today. Tomorrow they go to padded practices. So yeah, man, there's an injury cloud over Philly right now, and I'm not liking it. For those watching the stream that don't know about my channel, if y'all are confused with all the Mavs attire right now, I mean, I do Philadelphia Eagles content. I just temporarily put my setup back where it was. My channel space was taken over for the time being. I haven't gotten the chance to put everything back where it was. I'll eventually get to that, but I needed to put content back on my channel again. So I decided to stream for the Mavs since it's been a minute that I put Mavericks content up here, and it's a crucial time right now for Dallas to build this team for Luka Doncic. So that's why we're here, ladies and gentlemen. And so I can hang out with y'all. I thank you guys for being here. 50 minutes in. I still got relatively anywhere from 2 to 5 people circling in. Mondays are always busy for content. We got a lot of stuff going on. So any kind of audience I'm getting right now, there's a lot of people streaming and whatnot, and it's totally understandable. So thank you guys for hanging out and talking some basketball on this Monday. I got you, BPS. Yeah, Reggie Bullock is such a good pickup. If and this is going to depend if the money's right. I'm hoping that they don't overpay him, but we'll see here. And yeah, I did see that the Mavs re-signed Willie Cauley-Stein. So they didn't necessarily re-sign him. They picked up his option of only like $4.5 million. So I mean, that was for his services, that's almost a no-brainer. All right, so let's see. Let's update here. What are we seeing on Twitter? Let's see. Bobby Portis is staying with the Milwaukee Bucks on a 2-year, $9 million deal. Let's see. Keith Smith talking about the Boston Celtics if Jordy is still in the house. Per source, the Boston Celtics are focused on keeping their cap sheet as clean as possible for free agency in 2022. Source said they are not out on Evan Fournier, but Boston and Evan are not close on a deal. Not good. Not good. The 76ers finally made a move. Sixers fans in the house, y'all got something happening. Furkan Korkmaz has agreed to stay with the 76ers. He has signed a 3-year, $15 million deal. His agents tell ESPN, Mike Lindemann and Jeff Schwartz tell ESPN of the deal. So I guess congrats to Sixers fans. If y'all know any Sixers fans around right now, if I could share the stream, but yeah, I mean, if there's any Sixers fans out there, let me know what y'all think. Since I cover the Eagles, the 76ers are pretty close to Eagles lore. So yeah, Sixers fans, let me know how y'all feel about retaining Furkan Korkmaz. I would love to get your opinions on that. Let's see what else is going on here. Let's see. Backup center Boban's new deal with Dallas will be for 1 season. That will give him 3 seasons with the Mavs, who will have his full bird rights next summer. Nice. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Nice. I like it. I like it. I like it. Okay. Let's see. Where is the Reggie Bullock deal? That's what I want to know. Where's the Reggie Bullock deal? Okay, so wow. So Bobby Portis turned down a deal with the Dallas Mavericks. Okay. It says Portis turned down potential deals from the Mavs and Heat. Sources said after 6 seasons, Bobby has found a home and will play to repeat as champion. Okay, you can't have a problem with that. I really like the commitment. I like it. Good for you, Bobby Portis. Good for you. Good for you. Sorry about that. My voice is still messed up a little bit. I got tried to clear my throat there. Let's see. I see people wanting a sign and trade for Spencer Dinwiddie. I don't know about that one. I would still love Goran Dragic, man. Now, see, this is the other thing I'm thinking about right now. This is the other thing I'm thinking about. If we just signed Sterling Brown and if we're about to get Reggie Bullock, they both come in at about 6'5" to 6'7". Is DeMar DeRozan off the table? That's the one thing I'm thinking about here, because if you add him to this squad, that's a lot of depth. That's a lot of player depth at the same size. I mean, trying to make more than one unit out of that. I would have to imagine that you would need, to try a point guard, like try another point or a shooting guard alongside Luka, because I don't think, I don't know. It seems to me the writing has to be on the wall for Goran Dragic. I'm not a fan of going into the season with Jalen Brunson as the number 2 with Luka coming up, dribbling up the court. I can't see that. I don't want to see that. So, yes, something has to happen here. Tim McMahon. Okay, so Reggie Bullock has agreed to a deal with the Mavs. Yes. Stein has reported they were close. I need to know. I need to know if it's legitimate. Where is the contract details? Where are the details? Tim McMahon tweets, 3-point percentages last season for wings who have agreed to new deals with the Dallas Mavericks. Tim Hardaway Jr. last year shot 39% from 3. Reggie Bullock shot 41% from 3. Sterling Brown, 42% from 3. The Mavericks are loading up on shooters, and I'm all for it. I am here for it. The Milwaukee Bucks have struck another deal. That's even real. This isn't even, this is the scam one. Yeah, this is the scam account for Shams. Why was this retweeted? Really? Somebody actually retweeted the scam account. You almost got me there. Oh, geez, I almost lost it. I thought that said John Collins. That's actually Zach Collins. Okay. Whoo. Wow. Free agent Zach Collins has agreed to a 3-year, $22 million deal with the Spurs. Okay. Does that swing the pendulum? Really? Does that really swing the pendulum for the Spurs? I don't think so. San Antonio is not going to be better than Dallas this coming season. No way. Yeah, the Spurs are done. The Mavs own Texas. That is what is pretty much happening right now. The Mavericks own Texas. Castro, what's up, man? Appreciate you hopping in here for a minute. I know you got a massive collaboration stream going on in about 30 minutes, and I appreciate you hopping in here quick for a short minute. While I have you, what are your thoughts on Jeff Green signing with the Denver Nuggets? Are you bummed that the Brooklyn Nets lost him? Are you liking free agency so far for the Nets? Let me know, man. Dallas is doing very good right now. They're trying to take over Texas, and this is the way to do it. Dallas is trying to take over Texas right now in the NBA. Alex Len has agreed to a 2-year deal with the Sacramento Kings. Okay, so the Kings get another baller. Alex Len was pretty good. He was pretty good. Come on, what is the deal? What is the deal for Reggie Bullock? Please tell me. What up, Thomas? What up, man? Good to see you as well. There we go. There's Castro. Green is a solid player, but we need a big. All eyes are on Spencer. He might get us an elite big. Okay, well, if big. I don't want to speak this into existence because I can't imagine that you would want him. But yeah, I don't know. I can't imagine that. Yeah, no, Porzingis for Dinwiddie's not going to work. Yeah, no, like a sign and trade. Yeah, I don't see that. I mean, you guys wouldn't even consider Porzingis an elite big. So, but yeah, I don't know. I still feel Dallas is going to hold on to KP right now. But yeah, we'll see. That is right. All eyes are on Spencer Dinwiddie, no doubt. It just sucks that he's coming off of injury for one, and he's already approaching 30 years old. So health at some point is going to be forced into question. But we'll see as time goes on for him. Yes, absolutely. You're exactly right, Thomas. We got free agency talk going on right now for the Dallas Mavericks. Dallas is splashing right now. I like it. Yeah, Dallas is splashing right now in free agency. And, I kind of used the correct pun there. By splashing, I mean Dallas has kept a three-point shooter, and we added 2 more three-point shooters. I'm all for it. That just gives Luka more assists on the table for, to pass it off to somebody that'll actually make a three-pointer consistently and at a very high clip. The Mavericks signed Sterling Brown, who just recently played for the Houston Rockets, and we are in talks in finalizing a deal with New York Knicks small forward shooting guard Reggie Bullock. I love both pickups. Yeah, Dallas is doing very good right now, needless to say. We retained Tim Hardaway Jr. 4 years, about $74 million. I love that extension for him. Tim Hardaway Jr. has very good chemistry with the team. He loves Luka. He loves playing for Dallas. I'm glad he's still here. He wants to run it back. That means a lot to me. So, yeah, Timmy's a nice player. I love that Timmy's staying. Boban, our big Bo, he's staying as well. He gave us another 1-year deal. So we're going to have Boban. Let's see here. Yeah, I doubt they'd let him go, but a man can wish, but yeah, it would just come down if you guys can trust his meniscus. But let's see. Wow, yeah, the Mavs are moving. The Mavericks are moving. Woj drops another one. He says free agent forward Mike Muscala has agreed to a 2-year, $7 million deal to return to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Both Reggie Bullock and Sterling Brown can play defense. Yes. I mean, dude, you're getting the best of both worlds there. Dallas was not a very good they were not a very good defensive team last year. Let's just put it straightforward. Dallas was not very good on defense. So you add two potentially like 3-and-D guys to this roster, like what the Sixers tried to do with Danny Green, but at a higher level. Yeah, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. If you can knock out 3-point shooting, and defense at the same time. I mean, that's just great. That's great. Let's see. So KP will be at the 5 again. Now, yeah, Porzingis has always been at the 5. He was always seen as a stretch big. I did not like the way Rick Carlisle tried to utilize Porzingis. There was too many times where he would end up getting isolated uh, along the baseline. And just sit there for like a corner three opportunity. There wasn't much in the plan for cuts to the basket. I mean, we did see a few every now and then. If he sees Luka in trouble that he's driving into a double team, he'll cut to the basket, look for the alley oop, or the quick dump off or whatever. But you know, and like I said, I've said this before. Dallas needs to go into this season where, you need to treat Porzingis like the second star, to where Luka and KP should be the focal points of the offense, and everyone else works around those two. I think that's the only way, that you can see improvement with them two as a duo. If the offense flows through those two, where Porzingis is the dominant center, then yeah, I think anything's possible, because I mean, he's got a little bit of a dribble to him. He can back people down if he wants to. He's got a nice mid range. He can shoot the three. There's not much of a fadeaway there, which he can work on. I think he can work on his hook shot a little bit, stuff like that, and work on his strength. I mean, for him to be 7'3" at about like 225, 235, I think he needs to bulk up a little bit so he can, back down some forwards a little better and get closer to the basket, like easy shot opportunities, draw fouls, et cetera, stuff like that. But, I'm under the mindset that Porzingis needs one more year. Like you need to give him another chance. He hasn't been on the court consistently enough to be able to develop a proper chemistry between him and Luka. And I think in that instance that the rumors of them two not liking each other, I think it's I think it's blown out of proportion. I think there's more to it. I felt that the system for Porzingis under Rick Carlisle didn't work to his strengths. So under Jason Kidd, I hope that changes, and we can only hope to see what is discovered in this experimentation under Jason Kidd as the head coach. I would really like to see the new center we got instead of Porzingis. Moses Brown, I like that kid. Now, that's just one of the risks you're gonna. That's just one of the risks that you're going to end up taking if you prefer Moses Brown to Porzingis, because Moses is still a project. I mean, he's still pretty young. I think Moses Brown is like only 24. He still has work to put in the NBA. Whereas Porzingis has played at an all-star level before with the New York Knicks, and just he's still trying to get back to where he was a resemblance of what he used to be. He might not be to that stage ever again, but I think if you at least get like 95% out of him, he could be very good for Luka. I think the two of them can work very well together. So I'm not giving up on him just yet. I really need to see what Jason Kidd can get out of him this year. So we'll see. Thomas says if KP can get 18, 11, and 3 per game, I think that will be progressive. Yeah, I mean, even 18, 11, and 3 is actually a little bit less than what KP averaged last year. Porzingis averaged career numbers last year. So let me see. Let me bring up his stats here again. So last year Porzingis averaged 29 and about an assist and a half. So Yeah, I see where you're coming from with the rebounds and assist numbers. Yeah, there wasn't, there wasn't a lot of that, and that's mainly due to like you got Luka getting rebounds. Porzingis is sometimes out of position for rebounding in the first place when he's sitting on. When he's sitting along the corner, around the campfire, not doing much, not necessarily being involved enough in the offense, that's where his rebound numbers are going to diminish. But yeah, I totally get it. But to me, you can only go up from here, and that's what I'm hoping to get out of KP, especially going into an offseason where if he can get fully healthy, that only gives a benefit to Dallas, especially for what he's getting paid. Like we're trying to get the most out of his contract right now, and that's the biggest thing that I'm focusing on is like the health of Porzingis and keeping him on the court so him and Luka can work together. And develop something, as a tandem that Luka desperately needs on this team, especially for title contention, because it's Luka's time, man. It's definitely Luka's time. It's Luka's time. Let's see here. Anything else going on? Free agent guard. Oh, okay. So here's another Lakers signing for Big Play Slay in the chat. He also says solid pickup for my Lakers. They got Trevor Ariza. Okay. Well, the Lakers did just make another move. The Lakers signed Wayne Ellington Jr. has reached an agreement on with the Lakers on a 1-year deal, free agent guard. So that is another player for the Lakers. Yep, Trevor Ariza signs with the Lakers. So this is wow, okay. Gary Trent Jr. has agreed to a 3-year, $54 million deal to return to the Toronto Raptors. Okay. Wow. Nothing much else right now. I'm hoping to hear more about DeMar DeRozan, Spencer Dinwiddie, and seeing where Rashawn Holmes goes. Oh, no. Did we seriously ink Reggie Bullock for 3 years? Did we just sign Reggie Bullock to a 3-year deal? No. Really now? Really now? Yo. Okay. Yeah, Brad. According to Brad Townsend, he covers the Mavericks for Dallas Morning News. According to him, he says Reggie Bullock agreement is for 3 years. Oh. Now I just need the number. I just need the numbers here. I just need the numbers. How much? How much? That's a Trevor Ariza deal removes a sign-and trade option for Miami to put into a DeRozan exchange. Still have Iguodala, B. Jelly. and Oladipo as potential big dollar components. Okay. DeRozan is still there. But that looks like the Mavs are splitting the MLE between Bullock and Brown. Okay. I'm not mad at that. No. I like it. I like it. Let's see. I just wish they pick up some ball handler that won't let the Mavs offense drop so drastically. Yeah. That's the thing. I mean, I don't exactly know who the point guard is behind Luka. I mean, really, like Jalen Brunson, Trey Burke. I don't know. I mean, I would prefer Jalen Brunson over Trey Burke just because of youth, and he was a part of that draft class with Luka. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't like the depth at the 1 and 2 spot, right? Or at least at the 1 spot. The depth at 2 is probably going to be okay if you cycle. If you maybe cycle Bullock and Sterling and Hardaway Jr. in that mix, that's where you'll be fine. But yeah, Dallas needs a point guard, man. Dallas needs another point guard to either back up Luka or play alongside him. And to me, Goran Dragic is still that option. I'm stuck on Goran right now. I'm still stuck on Goran Dragic. Like this is the thing though. This is the thing that I'm wondering. Now we have 3 guys. We have 3 guys on our roster at we got 3 guys at like 6'5" through 6'7" on the roster. Like I don't know where that puts guys like Kleba and Dwight Powell and Finney Smith. I mean, do you really benefit from keeping Kleba at the 4 spot because he's a 3-point shooter, or Dwight Powell is limited in his skill set. Kleba is limited in his. Finney Smith is another, I guess, 3-and-D type of player. So that's what I'm trying to figure out here. I mean, does these type of signings? It seems like it makes those 3 players expendable: Dwight Powell, Maxi Kleba, and Finney Smith. And I hate to put Finney Smith in there, but that's what it's looking like right now. Especially if guys like Sterling Brown and Reggie Bullock can replace his 3-and-D that Finney Smith can offer. Yeah, Dorian can play above. He can play above the rim. He's got a couple of dribble moves, not too much. But he's hit some clutch baskets, over the course of the season. I mean, that one against Washington late in the year, Luka trusts him. That's one guy that Luka trusts in Finney Smith. But I mean, that's what I'm wondering right now. If those 3 are expendable at this point in time based on the signings. Yeah, absolutely. Reggie Bullock is a nice pickup. He definitely is. Okay. What? Well, so much for this shouldn't come as a surprise to Sixers fans. Dwight Howard has agreed to return to the Lakers. Where's Big Play Slay? BPS, if you're still in the chat, Dwight Howard is a Laker again. Let's see what else is going on here. Solomon Hill returns to the Atlanta Hawks. That is a decent signing for them. What else is going on here? Come on, Dallas. You got any other moves? I'm surprised Sixers fans are actually hurt about Dwight going back to the Lakers because he rubbed Sixers fans the wrong way in how he defended Ben Simmons. But he was a great character. He was a great character for Philly. He was a nice veteran presence that they needed, especially behind Joel Embiid, and he gave them, Dwight gave the Sixers some quality minutes. So I mean, I don't know about that one. Rock says, well, the Mavs have too many bigs right now. Someone will have to get traded, in my opinion. I mean, there's like 5 of them. Finney Smith has an amazing contract for what yes, he does. Yeah. So with that said, Rock, with that said, I would have to imagine that, I would think Kleba and Dwight Powell would be more on the market instead of Finney Smith. It's just like Dallas with their recent signings are a big team. They're a big team right now. Like they got size. They got size. I want to find out what MLE means. Let's see here. So basically what I'm getting here from other people is MLE, the split between Sterling Brown and Reggie Bullock. The MLE does not count against this year's cap. Wow. Okay, that's their exception. So they split. So the Mavericks split an exception between Sterling Brown and Reggie Bullock to where $9.5 million this year does not go against the cap. That's smart. That is smart. I like that move. This Nico's killing it so far. Nico Harrison is killing it so far with this front office, helping him out with these signings. So that MLE is basically an exception to where they split it between 2 players, and the total cost in that split between the 2 does not count against this year's cap, which we saved $9.5 million. Which leaves room to maybe do a trade or bring somebody else in. Yes, absolutely. It was a good move. Yeah, it was a good move. Dallas still needs another point guard, man. That's where I'm at. I like Tyler Bay is gone. Tyler Bay is gone. Norman Powell just put up a bunch of eye emojis. What's going on? What is going on? Mavs, MFFLs, do we want Norman Powell? Yeah, mid-level exception. Yes, correct. Yes, correct. Thank you. $9.5 million. That's what we saved. Norman Powell, where is he going? Where is he going? Dude, dude, if we sign Norman Powell, I have not considered Norman Powell, but I would not be opposed to that either. Dude. Oh man, yeah, he would be nice as a yep. That's a good shooting guard option right there. I don't know. That's the thing now. That's the thing that I'm wondering. I mean, so Norman Powell for Portland last year averaged 19, 3, and 2, 41% from three, 48% from the floor, 87% free throw shooter. Dude. Come on. That would be crazy. That would be crazy if we got Norman Powell. That'd be another that'd be another not big time veteran free agent or dude, I don't know. Norman Powell's still out there. What's going on here? What is Dallas doing? Ah, oh, THJ, I love it, man. I love it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me see. Let me bring this up for a minute. MFFL's our boy THJ. Our boy THJ is happy to be a Mav again. Good for him. Good for him. What up, Mr. Douche? Yeah, Luca does play tonight. I think Luca plays at like what 8:30 something like that. That's I think that's Central Time. So it's gonna be a little later. People in Dallas get to see it around now, but I think for guys on the east side here, East Coast, I think it's not until like what 10 or 11 something like that. But yeah, he does play. I think Slovenia plays. I think he plays Germany, I want to say. Brad Townsend just tweeted, Luca hasn't commented on the hiring of Jason Kidd, but he appears to approve of the Tim Hardaway Jr. signing. Aha! What did I tell y'all? What did I tell y'all? They have good chemistry together. I just said it. There it is. Luca just liked it. Cool. All right. Dallas is not done though. We can't be done here. What else is happening? What else is happening? Free agency cannot be over yet. Let's see. Lakers. The Lakers and Nets are both in a pursuit to sign Patty Mills. That's interesting. Brad Townsend says Plan Powder seems to have gone kablooey, and I'm not getting a sense that the Mavs are near done. Oh. Brad says that the Mavericks are not done yet. This is getting exciting, y'all. Brad says that they are not done yet. Mr. Duches, any thoughts on Goran Dragic? Yes. I dropped a video. I forget how long. I forget how long ago on my channel. I think it's been about 2 weeks now. I would love Goran Dragic on the Mavs. I think he offers that, that guaranteed, that guaranteed veteran chemistry that Luka could use as, as his number two in the backcourt. I think that basically that basically solidifies it. And then that puts the roster in a better situation with the backcourt, because you don't have to force things so much on Jalen Brunson, and like the lack of backcourt depth isn't the greatest right now. So I mean, at this point, with our recent signings so far, I'm leaning more on Goran Dragic over DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan has been one of my pipe dreams for the longest for Dallas. But based on the signings that we have acquired, the players that we have acquired so far, that's a lot of depth at like the shooting guard, small forward position. And like I would think that Dallas would want to balance the depth out a little bit. So I would prefer Goran to DeMar at this point. As oxymoron as that sounds, just based on the current situation with the signings that the Mavericks have made, I would prefer Goran Dragic over DeMar DeRozan. Rook says, "What was that about Dragic earlier? I didn't understand." So supposedly, Goran has stated that the only destination that he would like to go to is the Mavericks to play with Luka Doncic. Now, I think the only way that we can acquire Goran is in a sign and trade. Since the Raptors were in that sign and trade with the Miami Heat, so Miami can get Kyle Lowry, they had to send Goran, another player, and a second-round pick, I think, to the Raptors. So right now, I think Goran is on the books for Toronto with a $19 million option, and I doubt Toronto's going to want to pick that up. So we're going to need to give them some assets, to just to balance out the cap numbers, because we're going to have to fit that under our books as well. So I mean, hopefully it turns true. Goran Dragic would be, almost the icing on the cake for this night of free agency so far. It definitely would be. It definitely would be. Yes, he only wants to sign with Dallas if he gets traded. If Goran gets traded, the only destination he wants to go is the Dallas Mavericks. Yes, that's what he said. Bobby B. Killen, what up, man? I seen you earlier in a stream with, I think, the Eagles Uncensored podcast in the chat. So familiar name to me. What's up, man? Appreciate you hopping onto the channel quick. He says, do you guys think the Devontae Smith injury, because of the Devontae Smith injury, should we re-sign Trevon Grimes? No, I don't see it. The Eagles have already added like cap bodies in depth to that perspective, and bringing in Michael Walker, and then I think what's his name, Dante Pettin, or something like that, or DeAndre Patton from the Chargers, and he was on the Miami Dolphins practice squad. So they added 2 more bodies to the receiver core. I'm not worried whatsoever about Devontae Smith. I mean, a lot of the injury, and there's a lot of injuries going on right now in Eagles training camp. There is a lot, and it seems to be overwhelming from a fan base perspective, and I get it. But a lot of this is through precautionary measures, so I'm not necessarily worried. I'm not worried at all. Is it a crappy situation to be in? Sure, it is. But yeah, I'm not necessarily worried. I'm not worried about it. Yep, Rook, no problem. No problem. Let's get back to it here. Anything going on Twitter? Do we have anything going on? Let us see. Dang, nothing. Okay. All right. So, wow. Wow. The Boston Celtics have just lost Evan Fournier. Uh, Jordy, if you're still in the house, my man, you got to tell me about that, dude. The Boston Celtics have just lost Evan Fournier. He has agreed to a 4-year worth almost $78 million deal with the New York Knicks. On the 4th year, that includes a team option per source. Woj just dropped it a couple of minutes ago. Wow. What is happening to the Celtics, dude? That's crazy. What is happening to the Boston Celtics? Let's see here. Shams also tweeted and says free agent Nicholas Batum has stayed with the Clippers. He's agreed to a 2-year deal. Joel Embiid is not happy right now, man. He's asking Twitter what's going on. That's crazy. Sixers fans are just. I can't imagine Sixers fans are in a good place right now, man. That storm cloud of Ben Simmons is just ruining so much. That's ruining so much for. That's crazy. Wow. Mr. Douche asks, how long have I been a Mavericks fan? So here's the thing. Now, being that I was born and raised an Eagles fan, I respectfully followed the 76ers as well because Allen Iverson, as you can see on the poster back there, part of that NBA Superstars poster. He was my hero growing up, and for me playing basketball as a child, like that was one of my main guys was Allen Iverson. And alongside Iverson, when Dirk Nowitzki got drafted to Dallas, and seeing the regime that the Mavs were building with Nowitzki, and then watching Iverson, I've paid attention to both the Mavericks and 76ers simultaneously. But once Iverson retired in 2013, he took my Sixers heart with him. And then, obviously I've seen the 2011 run from the Mavericks and everything, but ever since Iverson retired, I've been solely about Mavericks basketball, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it, Mr. Douche. There's my history there, man. AK says, wow, Jordy is going to kill someone. No doubt. No doubt. Don Ramon says, disappointed as a Mavs fan. Why are you disappointed? I can't certainly say I'm disappointed. Maybe this is in regards to like that splash signing, like that big time player. Like I was very speculative of Dallas doing that in the very beginning of free agency. So, yeah, I mean, if you would love to elaborate on why you're disappointed, like by all means, we can talk about that. So, yeah, just let me know why you feel disappointed, because I'm not. I think Dallas has done a very good job so far in free agency with building around Luka. These are quality players. They're not necessarily bottom of the barrel type of signings. They do serve a purpose. Dallas is looking a little bit bigger on the floor, which is also a good thing. That helps with lengthy guys that are able to play defense. Something that the Mavericks have struggled with the last couple of years, being towards the bottom of the pack in the NBA, around the 20th, like around the 20s in positioning, anywhere from 18 to 20th, sometimes even worse. So yeah, man. Let me know if you would love to elaborate on that. We can talk about it. Why you're disappointed? Because I'm on the opposite spectrum here. No comment. No comment. Let's see here. Any other news? Oh wow. Okay. Derrick Rose has stayed with the New York Knicks. Knicks fans, y'all happy about that one? Let me know. Woj just dropped it a minute ago saying free agent Derrick Rose has agreed to a 3-year, $43 million deal to stay with the Knicks. All right, so, I mean, they retained Derrick Rose. They signed Evan Fournier. Uh, Julius Randle is still there. Robinson, their big man, they got him. Uh, um, what was Zion's teammate at Duke? He's still there. His name is leaving my mind right now. So uh, oh my, like no. The point of me saying no comment is that I'm not even going to waste my breath trying to dispute a a comment like that, because that's just like no. If you're going to say Luka's overrated, then you don't know basketball. Uh, I'll just put it at that. It's not like I'm not insulting intelligence here. I'm saying it from a general perspective. If you're going to say Luka's overrated, then yeah, you just don't know basketball. BPS says no Goran Dragic to the Mavs. Well, let's find out. I don't. What do you? I don't know. What do you mean by that? Big play Slay, because I don't see anything about Goran Dragic. I don't see anything about Goran Dragic. All I know so far is that he's a Toronto Raptor. He was involved in the Miami exchange with the Raptors for Kyle Lowry. So I think Goran Dragic is a Raptor for now, but he prefers to go to Dallas to play with Luka. So we'll see. We will see. I mean, you know, why are we? I don't get these kinds of comments. Like I don't want to say speaking the obvious here, but you're you're putting a NBA veteran who's arguably the greatest three-point shooter ever, who's in his early 30s, to a player that's only 22 years old. That I mean, be killing. Just remember, Luka's only 22. He's not technically in his prime yet. Emo Kid, what up? New name I haven't seen yet. What up, man? He says Kawhi to the Mavs, J.C. Holmes, or Norman Powell. I mean, those names have been pretty quiet so far on Twitter. I guess with that, yeah, you already know. or just troll comments. Yeah, it is what it is. But new face in here, so glad to see you, Emo Kid. But let me know about, would you also mind Goran Dragic? I did not see his name in your first comment. Dallas does still need another point guard. I still feel that he needs. Oh wow! Another Woj bomb. Another Woj bomb has just happened. Free agent guard Alex Caruso has agreed to a 4-year, $37 million deal with the Chicago Bulls. So the Lakers lose Alex Caruso to the Bulls. He goes there to pair up with Lonzo Ball, and Zach LaVine is still in Chicago. Lauri Markkanen is still there until maybe he gets traded. Wow. So Alex went to Chicago and got the bag. Okay. Wow. That's crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, MFFL. You already know. I'm glad to see more Mavs fans on the. I'm glad to see more Mavs fans on the channel. So, being if you're new, I primarily started my channel on Philadelphia Eagles content, and then months down the road, I picked up the Dallas Mavs because basketball is my sport growing up, and I just I felt that at that point in time that I was capable of covering two sports, so I added Mavs to the mix, and I haven't looked back. So, I'm glad to see more. I'm glad to see more Mavs fans on here. Simply put, package DP and Burke for Dragic. I wouldn't be opposed to that one either. I'm pretty sure Trey Burke is only making about $3 million. So I don't know about that one. I mean, if I was able to keep Trey Burke, I would, just for bench depth at the 1 and 2 guard spot. Let me see. What is Trey Burke making? I gotta know what he's making. I'm pretty sure he's only making about $3 million. Yeah, because he signed a 3-year, about $10 million deal. It's around 9.5. So yeah, it's only $3 million a year. Yeah, he's good through. He doesn't become a free agent until 2023. Yeah, I mean, unless it was absolutely necessary, I would keep Trey Burke just for depth at the 1 guard or 2 guard spot. So, yeah, man. For me, Dwight Powell and Maxi Kleber are probably the top 2 on the chopping block right now. I don't want to put Finney Smith in there just yet, but as far as trade packages, Powell is there for $11 million. Kleber's up there too, I think. What is he making? Let's see here. Yeah, so Maxi's still on the books for like $9 million. So he's also on contract until about 2022, 23. 2022 is not guaranteed. So I'm not sure how what kind of worth that would be. But yeah, I mean, you put that's about $20 million you can free up in cap space if Kleba and Dwight Powell are your top two considerations. So that's just me. I would put those two up over Finney Smith and Trey Burke. Let's see. Maxey, Cauley Stein, Burke, and DP. Finney Smith is a keeper. Go Caruso. That's a good one. That's a good one. Uh, See, I don't know about Cauley Stein. I'm actually okay with Cauley Stein because he's not making much. I think Dallas picked up Cauley Stein's player team option or player option, which was only about $4.5 million. That's pocket change. That's like Trey Burke money. That's a little more than Trey Burke money. So I don't mind Cauley Stein still here. It's good. It's good that he adds to the center depth. I mean, that's you're already talking about uh, who's behind Porzingis right now. Uh, you got that new kid Moses. I forget his last name at the moment, but you got Moses, and then you got Cauley Stein behind Porzingis. So I don't mind that Cauley Stein is still here. Um, Finding a player like Finney Smith for his kind of money is yeah, it definitely is. Yeah, he is a worker. He's very good. I mean the kid's a fighter defensively. He's an absolute fighter on defense. Let's see. Oh, so it got quiet. Um, so other Mavs fans on Twitter are saying it's gotten quiet so far. We supposedly are still um, we are supposedly still working with about 15 million in cap space right now. That sounds nice. Sounds pretty nice. Tim Reynolds has recently tweeted. This was about a half hour ago. He says Goran Dragic has thanked the Miami Heat and insisted there is no hard feelings ever. Put simply, he loved his time with the Heat and loves the city. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's Goran's a positive character, and he would be perfect alongside Luka in that Mavericks locker room. He would be perfect. He would be perfect. Wow. I almost fell for that one. I almost fell for that one. One of the one of the scam Twitter pages for Shams. He said that Rashawn Holmes has agreed to a 4-year, $90 million deal with the Mavs. Ooh, you almost got me there. You almost got me. I almost lost it. That would have been nice. That would be nice. You almost got me. Almost got me. Yeah, look, it looks like it's gotten quiet so far, y'all. I'm not seeing anything. Not seeing anything. Mavs Nation has just tweeted about Goran Dragic. Goran is eyeing to play with the Mavs alongside Luka. Oh, I would love that. We already know. We already know. Speaking the obvious. Speaking the obvious. Yeah, Finney Smith is like under $10 million. His contract is nothing. Yeah, 8 million for Maxey. Yeah, Maxey's about 8-9 million, and Powell's around 11. What up, Jose Ramirez? No, I mean, yeah, we already have okay center depth. I mean, you're talking about um, you're already talking about Porzingis. You're talking about Boban. You're talking about the new guy. I keep forgetting his name. What is his last name? It's Moses something. What is his name? Moses Brown. Okay, so there's two Browns. There's two Browns for the Mavs. So Moses Brown and then Sterling Brown. But yeah, so I mean, the Mavs have a decent depth at center. They have, and these are guys that can switch between the 4 and the 5 spot depending on how big Dallas wants to go in certain situations. I mean, we just seen in the playoffs they were trying to have Porzingis and Boban play alongside each other at the 4 and the 5 spot. So we're looking at Porzingis, we're looking at Boban, we're looking at Cauley Stein, we're looking at Moses Brown. So I mean that's a lot of guys. That's a lot of guys. I'm forgetting a fifth one right now. I'm forgetting a fifth one. If you want to put Dwight Powell in there, I mean he's 6'11". The 4 and 5 spot. Kleber's 6'10". You got a lot of bodies at the 4 and the 5 position. There's a lot of bodies there. There's a lot. Uh, Berg for Vlatko. Uh, yeah, Sterling is a 50-40-90 guy. And Reggie Bullock is very close to that too. So that's two guys. I mean, that's two potentially 50-40-90 players that are very good on defense. I mean, you're getting the best in the best of both worlds in those two guys in an area that the Mavs have had trouble with is consistent 3-point shooters. Outside of Luka when he's hot, and Hardaway Jr. outside of his bipolar spurts. You add Sterling Brown to the mix and Reggie Bullock. That's great combination. Great combination. And they're good contracts too. I mean, we have Hardaway Jr. for 4 years. We just got Bullock for another 3. Sterling Brown comes in on a 1-year deal. He might be playing for a contract when it's all said and done. I mean, that's good depth. That's good depth that you're working with right there. Yes, correct, Moses Brown. Mr. Douche says Luka needs to move. Yeah, yep. That's. I think that's one of the biggest things right now that Dallas is trying to focus on is now. Does Sterling Brown and Reggie Bullock, do they have the ability to create their own shot? I don't necessarily think so, but they can move pretty well with the ball. And I've said earlier in the stream that I've been going for almost 2 hours now, and we got up to 8 people in the chat. I mean, appreciate y'all MFFLs hanging out with me and other and other regulars to my channel. If y'all are new and like the diversity of fandom that I bring to the table, I mean, MFFLs, you already know the deal. I love my Mavs, but I also bleed green for the Philadelphia Eagles. So if you like that kind of diversity that I bring to the table, if you're not subscribed yet, I would that would be an awesome appreciation to me, man. We're still pushing for 200 subs. I've been stuck in the 180s for quite a bit now, so. Some of y'all, if you're new, that you can be a part to push me over the edge, and you guys can grow with me. That's what it is at the end of the day. We're talking Mavs basketball. We're talking Eagles football. We're growing as a channel at the end of the day, and you guys are a part of that. I try to make my subs a part of that as best as I can. Whether it's call-in streams and stuff like that, it happens. It happens on the channel. So thank you guys for just hanging out with me. It means a lot. Goes Bullock and Sterling split the MLE. Yep, the mid-level exception, they split it. Nico's doing a pretty damn good job so far, man. Shout out to Nico Harrison in that front office. They're doing a good job so far. Yeah, they do. Yeah, that's another great observation. They do look fairly young. It's a nice balance between the veterans and the young guys. I mean, Sterling Brown's only 26. Reggie Bullock comes in at 30 years old. Dwight Powell's 30. Kleba is 29. And you got your young centerpiece in Luka, who's only 22. He's only 22, going on 23. I mean, this is phenomenal. Porzingis, I think, just turned 26. He's still got a lot of years, pending health. He's still got a lot of years left. Cauley Stein, I think, is only like what, 27, 28 maybe. So he's still got age. He's still got youth behind him. Jalen Brunson's young. Trey Burke's only 28. We're a fairly young team, and sometimes that's hard to come by. So kudos to the Mavericks front office and doing a good job so far, and staying in tone with that kind of youthful mindset. I like it. I do like it. I'm a depressed Cowboys fan. Oh, geez. Well, I guess we'll save the Cowboys talk for another day. Being that we're bitter rivals. So this is Matt. This is the Matt. At least I share something with the Cowboys fans, in that I love my Mavericks. So at least y'all got that from me. At least y'all got that. Let's see if anything is happening right now back on Twitter. Slovenia is going to play soon. Brad Townsend just tweeted 5 minutes ago saying, been a lot of focus on Mavs getting a point guard, but they have a pretty good one. Yes, we do. We do have a pretty good point guard already, but I mean MFFLs, is it safe to say that Luka and Jalen Brunson is enough? I mean, Trey Burke isn't that kind of playmaker. He isn't that playmaking type of guard. I don't see a situation in which Luka and Jalen Brunson is enough. I mean, do you guys trust Jalen to command the second unit? I sure as heck don't. I mean, that would be a perfect situation for Goran Dragic to lead, the charge. That'd be great. That'd be a great time. Yeah, Slovenia versus Germany. Yeah. Yeah. Luka's going to claim another victim. Luka's claiming another victim. Slovenia. I got Slovenia winning again. They're on such a push right now. All right, so wow. So the Phoenix Suns reached an agreement with JaVale McGee on a 1-year, $5 million deal. So with that said, it seems that does not spell next season very well for Dario Saric, who just went down with a torn ACL in the NBA Finals. So that gives Phoenix good depth behind DeAndre Ayton and at that 4 and 5 spot. So good for the Suns there. Anything else here? I'm gonna miss the white mamba, Alex. Oh, so you are gonna miss Alex Caruso, man. Well, yeah, we'll see. We will see. Man, how did 2 hours pass already? That's what I'm trying to figure out. How did 2 hours pass already? Man, I think it's gotten pretty quiet on Twitter here now. Nothing much left is going on. Other than some reports and rumors. The latest one by Schultz report, according to Jordan Schultz. Uh, okay, so that's it. So it looks like we are out of the Norman Powell and Spencer Dinwiddie sweepstakes. I guess I'll end the stream on that note. Um, Man, I've been going for quite a while here. So, according to Jordan Schultz, he says new info on a few rumors that I've seen floating around. Quote, neither Spencer Dinwiddie or Norman Powell to the Mavericks will happen. Patty Mills to the Nets is not very likely. And with league sources saying both the Lakers and Golden State are making a run at Patty Mills. So, it looks like we're not going to see anything involving Norman Powell or Spencer Dinwiddie. Um, you know, let me know y'all's thoughts on that for Dallas if you would have liked to maybe see it. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Man, there's still 7 people in the chat here. I feel bad for wanting to cut the stream loose, but I'm for my first day back on the channel after a couple of days. It's we I guess we killed it here. Email goes, Norman is my #1 pick for a borderline star. Yeah, it would have been nice, but it looks like it looks like that's probably not going to happen for the Mavs. I mean, my 2 considerations still remain. What is the Rashawn Holmes? Rashawn Holmes is still out there. But my 2 top guys for the longest time have been Goran Dragic and DeMar DeRozan. So those guys are still out there. We would have to poach Goran from the Toronto Raptors in a trade scenario. But DeMar is still available. Rashawn Holmes is still available. We'll see. We'll find out. But if I see anything on Twitter, I will retweet it. You guys can check out my Twitter. You can find it under the same handle as my YouTube channel for Lindy Endzone. With that said, I guess I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate all the new faces that I've seen. It was pretty cool. I guess I can say I wasn't necessarily expecting much, going into the stream, in terms of Mavericks free agency. I didn't know what kind of audience I was going to be getting. There's still 7 people in here. It's unbelievable. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. There's actually Cowboys fans in here, hanging out. I appreciate you guys. But yeah, so I guess that's pretty much it. You guys catch me again next time. We'll go over again the free agency signings that the Mavs have picked up. I'll be assuring to drop some videos on that in the coming days. I'll have to get back to my Eagles content as well. It's a busy time. Eagles got training camp. The Mavs in their free agency. Luka trying to take more names for Slovenia against other countries. There's a lot going on. So with that said, again, I will leave it at that with you guys. Leave me a grade down in the comments at the end of the stream what you guys thought of the free agency so far for Dallas. Give me a letter grade on it. Let me know your thoughts on each signing, what you think the next move should be for the Mavs based on the current status of available players. And with that said, I will leave. Again, I'm repeating myself, but I'll leave you guys at that. This has been Lindy Endzone for the touchdown, taking the lead for the Eagles 1 video at a time and dropping buckets for the MFFLs. Go Dallas Mavericks as always. Looks like we're helping our boy Luka Doncic. I'm very happy. Great start to free agency so far. I can't wait to see what other tricks that Nico Harrison and company has up their sleeves. And I'll catch you guys later. Flag goes fly, bleed green. MFFLs, go Mavs. Take care of yourselves. Go Slovenia. #slow. I'll see you guys soon.